From KUNC and the NPR network, this is In the NoCo, a daily slice of Northern Colorado news and happenings. It's Friday, March 22nd. I'm Erin O'Toole. Water and how to manage it is a perennial topic here in the parched American West. So today, on World Water Day, we're looking at some of the most pressing water issues of the moment and how we in Northern Colorado can better appreciate and conserve this precious resource.
I just wish people would realize the foresight it took to build some of these water systems that we take for granted now. Over 100 years old, many of them are. And just the engineering that was involved to get it here. And so appreciate when you turn on that water and that clean water comes out, we are blessed. There are people in the United States, people in the Navajo Nation who can't say that.
Jennifer Gimbel researches water policy at Colorado State University's Colorado Water Center. I sat down with her to tap into what's happening with water in our state. So what do you want people in Northern Colorado to be thinking about today on World Water Day?
Well, the whole reason that the United Nations put together a World Water Day was to make people more aware of everything that goes into water. And what I want people in Northern Colorado to understand is just how complicated it is to get water from the source, which is usually snowpack or rain, into your faucet. And there's so much more we can do to help protect those supplies.
Right. Well, this day is meant to raise global awareness about managing freshwater resources. Jennifer, you've been in the water business a long time. What do you see as some of the biggest challenges in doing that here?
A couple of things. Climate change is a huge challenge for our water source. It's getting hotter, it's getting drier, and things are more unpredictable. We're getting more extreme events. Look at the fires and look at the floods we've had. Population explosion. The state demographer has said that this area is just exploding, and we are going to increase in population sooner rather than later. And if you look at the Front Range communities, all those new communities that have started growing, Windsor, Timnath, Johnstown, and what do they need? They need water. And so that's the challenge right now, is this competition for water among all these different entities makes it expensive and makes it difficult to come by.
I'm wondering what you're seeing as some of the challenges to ensuring that there will be enough water to meet the need here in Northern Colorado.
Well, there's several challenges, and some of them are the way we have developed with respect to each city has its own little water plan and its own little space for water. And we need to branch out and have more of a regional look and action plan with respect to water. That's happening, and that's happening slowly. But it is a big challenge. The other thing is water conservation is great, but it's not a silver bullet. And so we have to watch on what we're doing. Also, city planners don't usually talk to the city water people. So we've got to get that conversation going. And so it's all these different conversations within the municipality, outside with the counties. You look at Fort Collins. Fort Collins has like 6 water providers if you live in the Fort Collins area.
Yeah.
How do you talk about saving water and conservation with 6 different providers?
And as a homeowner or renter, it kind of makes it difficult to know where to go if you want, let's say, tips for how to conserve water yourself.
Actually, there are a lot of places to go. Thank you for asking that, because you can go to every county website, you can go to the city websites, and they will tell you where the water comes from. And they have lots of information about what you can do. You can go to planning meetings. You can go to these water board meetings. Plant a rain garden in your yard. You can put in plants that don't suck up water, like Kentucky bluegrass. And there's so much information out there.
Well, this makes me think about one of those agencies you mentioned, Northern Water. That's the agency supplying water to a lot of our listeners. They keep building new reservoirs, but in the long term, the question is, will there be enough water to keep those reservoirs full?
Well, and that's where, we have all these engineers and models that that has been done, saying there are times when the river is what we call a free river, meaning it's taking care of all of the demands, and there's extra. And those are the times that those reservoirs fill. That's what they've been based on, filling in the spring times, filling during the runoff, and then having water available later in the summer.
So we know millions of people in the West rely on the Colorado River for their water. How is climate change affecting that water supply?
Well, I tell people that Mother Nature continues to tell us she's boss. And what it has done in the last 24 years now is not given us the kind of snowpack that we were used to having the 100 years before this. And that snowpack is our reservoir of water. A couple of years ago, we had over 100% snowpack in the upper Colorado River area, but we had a 53% runoff. And that's because as the snow melted, it went into the ground because the ground was thirsty. The air wants the water, and then you have less that goes into the river and then goes on down to the other states.
I hadn't really thought about that, but just because we have good snowpack doesn't necessarily mean we get all that as water.
Yes.
I also want to mention a couple of other rivers because I think it's easy to forget just how critical those rivers are, like the Poudre River and the South Platte. They are essential not just for people to recreate on or to walk their dogs beside, but they're really critical to our economy, right?
Very critical to our economy. This northern Colorado area contributes an incredible amount to the economy of Colorado in the United States. I think we have the 6 top producing counties in the state here for agriculture. And I think I heard that Weld County is like 6th in the nation for production. We have to have that water.
Jennifer Gimbel is a senior water policy scholar with the Colorado Water Center at CSU. Thank you so much for talking with me today.
Thanks, Erin. I appreciate the conversation.
On Monday, the state's first Buc-ee's Travel Center opened in Johnstown to lots of fanfare. We know this Texas-based chain has drawn a lot of hype in other places, and we wondered if that would be the case in Colorado. So we asked, and here's what some of you told us. At least one commenter loves the, quote, amazing clean bathrooms. And we learned some diehard fans would even register for their wedding at Buc-ee's, maybe asking for one of those bronze beaver statues. I don't know. Buc-ee's are huge stores. The one in Johnstown is 74,000 square feet and has 116 gas pumps. Many of you think this is just too much. Too big, too Texan was among the comments we read. And a couple of you told us Colorado simply doesn't need a Buc-ee's in a world going toward electric vehicles. Quote, when we are trying in Colorado to promote EVs as a public policy statewide, we get a temple to gasoline consumption on one of the most prominent points along I-25 in NoCo. Very sad. Thanks for sharing your thoughts on Buc-ee's. We love hearing from you on any topic. Send us an email anytime, noco@kunc.org. That's it for us today here on In the NoCo. We'll be back with you next week with more of what's happening in northern Colorado. Our theme music was composed by Colorado artist Robbie Reverb. Our producer is Ariel Lavery. Robin Vincent is our executive producer. I'm Erin O'Toole. Have a great weekend.